But first, let's begin today with this, Josh, because this is the most recent thing that happened. What a wild game we had last night between the Texans and the Steelers, right? The Texans won that game. I think the fourth quarter. What was the score at the beginning of the fourth quarter? I believe it was
the fourth quarter was 7. At the start of the fourth, it was 7-6.
And then the Texans ended up winning that game 30-6, which is unbelievable. Texans scoring 23 points in the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns on on turnovers from the Steelers. You had the Aaron Rodgers fumble, and then you had the Aaron Rodgers pick 6 at the end of the game, which could have very easily been the last NFL pass of his career.
Yep.
Again, we have no idea if Aaron Rodgers becomes Phillip Rivers 2.0 and comes back 5 years from now on a whim when he's 58 years old.
Renew that insurance. Why not?
Listen, man, that was the genius behind the whole thing.
I mean,
saying, right?
Could you imagine? I mean, it's not could you imagine because we literally just saw it last night, but in a playoff game where a defense outscores the opposing team's offense.
Yeah.
Houston, because, I mean, let's be real. For about 3 quarters, at least on the offensive side, Houston wasn't playing great. Woody Marks had a great game.
God. I mean, listen, Houston, I was going to bring this up yesterday, but I figured I'd save it for the show because our good friend Bryson Carver is I'll put it in air quotes, he is a Steelers fan, right? Like, give me a break. No, you're not. You're a Cowboy fan, and you know it. Anyway, he's a Steelers.
Am I the only non-Cowboy fan on this network? I'm starting to think that.
Sort of. Yeah,
okay.
Sort of. I forget what football team you even root for. I don't even remember.
I am a Patriots and Browns fan.
Patriots and Browns. Well, you're from Massachusetts.
I'm from Massachusetts. I went to college, and I went to college at the University of Akron. I'm a proud Akron Zip. And in my 4 years in Ohio, I truly built a love for and respect for all of Cleveland teams solely because, in my personal opinion, there are some great loyal fan bases, obviously, around the country in all different cities.
Sure.
As far as totality of your sports teams, in all the sports, Cleveland fans are the most loyal.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Obviously, there are plenty in Boston, plenty in Chicago, plenty in LA, Dallas, etc. Right. But covering all the major sports, it's Cleveland. So I always root for the Browns. We always know they're a disaster. But and obviously Cavs, I was very excited when they won years ago.
Oh my God.
And and then I was soft spot, like if the Guardians are in the playoffs, and root for them as well. But yeah, so Cleveland I got a soft spot for, and trust me, I am not a fan though of either of those teams to the extent that I'm a fan of my Orlando Magic, because that is just
that's your true love.
Right, and I mean and Stuff agrees. Stuff the Magic Dragon is not in agreement right here. As he hangs out on my desk.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, see, I need more mascots on my desk here. All I have is this minion.
And that's not a mascot.
That's not a mascot. No, a minion is a living, breathing being.
What is the Cavaliers mascot? Do they have a mascot?
They do. They have 2. The Cavaliers have 2 mascots.
Wait, why do you need 2 mascots? Why do you need a spare mascot?
Hold on a minute. So now it's ready. We have gone completely off the mark here, but now we're so now I need to find pictures of both mascots because the Cavs have 2 different mascots and they're both great. So let me just
while you're looking that up, I'll kind of circle back as far as the game itself of Texans Steelers.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So yeah, this was. I mean, what this truly was though was a national spotlight of Houston solely because of their defense should be considered one of, if not the favorite in the AFC, based on this dominant performance from the fourth quarter. And it really showed, maybe even more so, that it is time to rebuild the Steelers.
Mm.
It is time, Aaron Rodgers. It is time, Mike Tomlin. It is time. Obviously, we know Mason Rudolph is not the answer. DK Metcalf, you got to get his attitude in check. I know you just signed him.
Yeah.
TJ Watt, who knows how many more years he has. So Pittsburgh now has to regroup because we know for years they've been this level of mediocrity, but still find ways to have winning season and find ways to get in the playoffs. But when was the last time they won a playoff game? Like 8-9 years ago?
Yeah, right.
So I'm honestly surprised up to this point in the morning there's not been any news on the Pittsburgh front office front.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think here's the thing. I'm kind of surprised in a sense of like that there wasn't more noise regarding Mike Tomlin in that sense. Where like, I mean, as much as some Steeler fans are like, begging for him to go.
Right.
I just don't see that happening. I just don't. Like until the guy actually like, and here's the thing. Here's the gripe is that what is it? It's been like 7 straight postseason losses or something like that with him.
Yeah.
Is that what the number is?
Something like that.
I mean, I get the gripe with it, and they call it mediocre and all of those things. But you have to go back a long time to when Ben Roethlisberger was the quarterback of this team again. And like they just haven't had any sort of semblance of a real quarterback. I mean, if you're winning more, if you're having an over 500 record with Kenny Pickett as your quarterback, like I just feel like you're doing something right. Am I wrong in that respect? I mean, I just feel like Mike Tomlin's less of the issue. It's the fact that they haven't gotten, like, since Roethlisberger retired, they haven't filled the hole at quarterback for half a decade.
Oh no, I mean you're obviously that's a major factor with it. But we've seen coaches elevate backups or bridge quarterbacks to at least some success. Okay, maybe you're not getting a ring, but having some success. The last time the Steelers won a playoff game was 2016.
Yeah.
They have been one and done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the last 9 years.
Right.
So something eventually has to be adjusted. And if you've been trying the quarterback stuff, because we know while there hasn't been a Ben Roethlisberger, they have tried many different quarterbacks. They have signed many quarterbacks. They have tried to make trades for draft picks for many quarterbacks, and nothing has worked.
Right.
Russell Wilson did not work. Justin Fields did not work. Aaron Rodgers did not work. Mason Rudolph did not work. Kenny Pickett did not work.
Right.
So something's got to give. And what's the next step in that case? You've had so many opportunities based on, past success. Because let's be real. Yes, Tomlin, based on his wins, is a Hall of Famer. Yes, he's a Super Bowl champion. That Super Bowl happened in 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
How long does one ring allow you to be the coach of a team?
Well, that's the Doc Rivers argument, isn't it? Too, and that's a comparison.
I think that's a fantastic comparing Tomlin to Doc Rivers. I think it's a fantastic comparison.
I listen. There's certainly something to be said about that, and like I said, I'm not gonna, dignify the ridiculous. No, I'm kidding, but I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? I think that, you can make the argument that there's a change that needs to be made. Mm-hmm. But I also think that, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I always look at this from the lens of, like, when John Harbaugh got fired, which, again, is another piece of massive news that we haven't gotten the chance to cover on this show.
Oh, that's true, because it happened after our show last week.
I
forgot about that.
But like, I mean, we're talking about like, there are guys in this league that you just don't fire. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I thought John Harbaugh was one of those guys.
I agree.
Now, again, I don't want to shift this all the way to John Harbaugh. I want to keep this on Mike Tomlin for a second because here's the reality. I always look at it through the lens of what are you looking to find? Like, I understand that your playoff success hasn't been great, but the elements of what you need in a head coach, stability, ability to motivate, all of those different things. Obviously, guys that can create a culture. I mean, Mike Tomlin certainly has done that in Pittsburgh. I don't think that anybody can argue that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to find that's better? You're going to fire him and hire Cliff Kingsbury? Like, you're going to fire him and hire Jim Leonard from Denver? Like, I
like how you're not mentioning either John Harbaugh or Kevin Stefanski, because if the Steelers were to take a coach within their division, it would be like total anarchy.
Right.
They wouldn't, as good as both those coaches are, we know the Steelers' mindset, they will not touch either of those two.
Right.
So yeah, to your point, is there a better coach out there? I mean, it's like, do you take the gamble on a coordinator? Like, is this the scenario where Robert Saleh gets another shot with something like that to try to bring like classic defense back to Pittsburgh? Mm-hmm. But aside from guys like him or what's the name? The Chargers defensive coordinator, Minter.
Jesse Minter.
So, aside from, like one of those guys where you're, taking a gamble, hey, will they make the transition to a head coach? Because we already saw Saleh had one opportunity. Now, I don't fully blame him because it was the Jets. But
right. You can't blame anyone.
Right. But like, do you take the gamble and try to build on that? Because, again, it worked for Tomlin.
Yeah, right.
So do they try to roll that dice again, or do they try to bring in someone who had the head coaching experience? Because, as we were just saying, the ones that are available right now, the best ones were your rivals that are available. So you're not going to bring any of them in. And you ain't going to bring Mike McCarthy into this.
Right.
So,
but that's my point, is like Mike McCarthy is going to be the better option than Mike Tomlin. Like, if Mike Tomlin got fired today, outside of John Harbaugh, he's clearly the next best candidate. Like, I just don't understand. Like, and believe me, I get the whole, sometimes you need a change of voice. I understand all that. I really do. But you also have to consider, what are you going to do without Mike Tomlin? Like, are you really just, I don't understand the idea of, culture shift can be that easy. I don't think it is. I really don't.
Right.
Especially when, if you want to go ahead and say, you know what, we have a clear vision now. We want to go whole new regime, right? New quarterback, because obviously I would imagine Aaron Rodgers is going to retire. They're going to need a new quarterback unless they're really going to roll it out there with Will Howard, right? Which is, a possibility. Maybe that could work, but they need a new quarterback. You get rid of Tomlin. Now you need a new coach. You're talking about completely tearing this whole thing down. The only way that would make somewhat sense to me is if they literally tore the whole roster down. It's not like they're young. This is not a young roster.
No, that's why I say it's like Pittsburgh, for the first time in God knows how long, needs to completely rebuild.
Right. And it's not like they've been a great drafting team either in recent years. Let's not forget that. Okay. They've missed on several high-end draft picks.
Yeah.
So this is not a team with a great track record of rebuilding anything, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They are kind of the Steelers are a very steady horse in this race.
Yes.
They really are. Steelers are very rarely ever really bad, but you're right. I mean, they've been kind of average for a good amount of time. And my top is probably a good reason for that.
And I also find it just fascinating. We're talking about a team that just won their division.
Right. Exactly.
And they have to completely rebuild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What does that say about that entire division?
Yeah.
What happened to the AFC North?
Yeah. Well, what happened with the Ravens this year is that one really boggles my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we've talked about it before, Josh, about like how that could have maybe been pinned on like Lamar Jackson wasn't really healthy all year.
Right.
But I mean, look, and there's like, here comes the John Harbaugh thing too. The only way that I could justify firing John Harbaugh is if Lamar said, I don't want to play for this dude anymore. Like, that's the only way that I could even think about justifying that.
Yeah, and because then it comes down to, okay, so are you going to side with your star quarterback who over the last 2 years has started to show decline, or are you going to stick with the coach that has led you guys to greatness, regardless of who was under center? And obviously, if that's the case, that Baltimore chose the quarterback.
Right.
So Baltimore chose the quarterback. Pittsburgh hasn't made a choice at all. Browns have clearly chosen the coach. Bengals, they just have noise-canceling headphones on because they're not budging on anything, which makes zero sense.
Yeah.
The AFC North, once upon a time, was the most feared, dominant, competitive division by a mile in the NFL.
Yeah.
And now it almost feels like how the AFC South was for so many years.
Right. Yeah. Where it just seemed like nobody was.
Whereas, like, no one in that division deserves a playoff spot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, the AFC South, you got two powerhouses in Jacksonville and Houston.
And Houston, right. By the way, with Houston, just quickly on this.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like Houston deserved to win that football game. It's just that nobody deserved to win that football game, I don't think. I mean, C.J. Stroud fumbled the ball 5 times, right? I mean, they count the bad snaps as fumbles. But, like, the interception was there. He lost 2 fumbles. I mean, the Texans did not play a clean football game at all last night.
The only besides, the incredible defense, the only sparks were Woody Marks having nearly 6 yards of carry, and Christian Kirk reminding everyone he's still in the league.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I realized until maybe week 14 that Christian Kirk was on the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Like, I totally forgot where he was.
I did too.
And
I thought he was still in the Jags. I really did.
And 8 catches, 144 yards, and a touchdown, while Nico Collins, your go-to guy.
Yeah.
All right, Pittsburgh did their homework on him. He only had 3 catches, 21 yards. But like, oh, yeah, they had this other guy that was a previous number 1 receiver for 2 other teams, the Jags and Cardinals.
Right.
And now was just forgotten about. And C.J. Stroud, as bad as he did, still being able to find Christian Kirk and give them enough. And honestly, this kind of goes with, I can kind of compare it a little bit to Drake May, because Drake May did not play well in his playoff debut either, but he did enough to get him over that hump. And if that doesn't boost the team's morale to the highest it's been all season, unknowing we did not do our best in this playoff game, and we still won and advanced, now we got to show people why we're here.
Right.
So both New England and Houston, that's going to be scary. And they play each other, don't they?
That's going to be a game. It really is. That's going to be a game. It's in New England, Patriots versus Texans. You want to talk about a potential defensive matchup.
Oh, yes.
Right. That's going to be something, because we saw, and we'll touch on it later, but we saw what the Patriots defense did to that Chargers offensive line. I mean, Justin Herbert was on his back all night. That was really tough to see.
Yeah.
In that respect. Now shifting the conversation to the way more important piece that we've kind of put to the side for now. The Cavs have 2 mascots, and I was able to find 2 pictures. So their first mascot is Sir CC. This is like their normal like go-to mascot, and it's just this superhero looking guy. So
I mean, I don't hate the look of him. The name Super CC is.
It's not Super. It's Sir.
Oh,
Sir CC.
Well, that makes it so much better.
Sir CC.
Even though he's wearing a cape.
Right. It's not Super CC. It is Sir.
It's Sir CC. Okay.
Now,
that's Sir CC.
Here's the thing. Now, here's the mascot that has everybody's heart, and including mine and including my wife's.
Okay.
It is Moondog.
See, that is a mascot. Moondog. I am all for Moondog. That is a mascot right there.
Moondog is the mascot. And there's a history lesson behind it too, right? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had a radio DJ that called himself Moondog, and the audience, the Moondoggers, and all those. Like, there's real background behind this one. So I got my wife a small little like plushie out of Moondog. Moondog is the man. No, I love Moondog.
looking at the 2 of them, there's no business that both of these mascots are for the same team.
Yeah.
Because they could not be more different from each other.
Correct.
That said, Moondog, that is 100% a mascot. Sir CC, find another job. I don't care how nice or cool you are. Don't step on Moondog's turf, man. That is Moondog's turf.
I'm telling you. I think every Cavs fan that I've ever met, which is very little, because living in New York, you just don't see very many.
I'm going to text one of my close friends. Well, we'll go to break, and I'll probably get a response from him by then. I'm going to ask him, pick one, Sir CC or Moondog, because he is.
I guarantee you that he'll say Moondog. Moondog is way better. Moondog is way, way cooler. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, when we come back.
The text has been sent. We'll wait on that update.
We'll wait on the response. Hopefully we get it during the break.